Alabama became ground zero in the debate over marriage earlier this month when a federal judge ruled the state ban on same-sex marriage was unconstitutional. But Alabama's state Supreme Court put a halt to gay weddings, pitting a state against the federal government. John Jessup sat down with the man at the center of the conflict, Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore.
A Vietnam War veteran, Roy Moore is no stranger to a fight. But today he's engaged in a fight of a different kind, one being waged in the courts.
To me, it boils down to the simple fact that federal courts across this land have mandated their will unlawfully over the people of the states.
As Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Judge Moore is an ardent and outspoken supporter of traditional marriage. His latest move, ordering Alabama's probate judges to stop granting marriage licenses to same-sex couples after a federal judge struck down the state's constitutional amendment upholding traditional marriage and preventing gays from taking their vows. That measure was approved by 81% of the state's voters.
The conflicting orders put the state front and center in the national debate over marriage, making Alabama the first state in the country to openly defy a federal judge's orders on the issue. Legal observers now say it is as much of a case pitting the federal courts versus state courts as it is a question of states' rights versus equal rights.
Judge Moore tells CBN News before giving his order, he asked the governor and state attorney general to get involved. Neither did. Moore's position is that state courts have just as much authority to interpret the U.S. Constitution as the federal courts do, and that the debate over marriage isn't about equal protection. Instead, it's about redefining an age-old institution that has long formed the foundation of families.
No federal court, to include the United States Supreme Court, has authority to go into the Constitution and define the word marriage. If we allow federal courts to intrude into the subject of marriage, then they will intrude into the subject of parent and child and husband and wife.
Critics call Moore a bigot, homophobic, and intolerant. Some have even compared him to former Alabama Governor George Wallace, who fought a federal government order to integrate the University of Alabama. Moore disagrees.
This is about sexual preference. The other is about a natural genetic makeup, which should not be discriminated against.
And he's getting support from unlikely places. A recent New York Times opinion piece titled "What Roy Moore Got Right" described him as provocative and out of touch, but also said, as for the word marriage, Moore is right that the Supreme Court cannot mandate how we use a word any more than it can create a social institution on its own.
What is your fear of what will happen if people like you don't take this stand?
Because it's not just redefining marriage, it's giving no definition to marriage.
A debate many believe will be resolved by the Supreme Court this summer. John Jessup, CBN News, Montgomery, Alabama.